Hello everyone, my name is Perplexion. Welcome to another Wizard101 video. Today, instead of just doing gameplay or whatever, I'm actually going to do my first ever tier list. This will be me ranking all the worlds from F to S. And before we get this started, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I know with these types of videos, people can get really rude and opinionated, which opinionated, that's fine. But I notice how people are just rude and don't respect others' opinions. Like, for example, I could put Chris was an S tier or something like that, and people are going to tell me to go die. Like, maybe not that extreme, but basically, all I'm going to say is if you're going to go insane over my rankings, do not watch this video. Do not watch this video. You're allowed to disagree with my opinions, but you will do it in a civil way. I'm saying that right now. You're allowed to agree, you're allowed to disagree. I won't stop you from doing either. But when you're straight up rude, that's crossing the line. We're gonna respect each other's opinions, we're gonna respect all of our opinions, and we are going to be respectful to each other. I just wanted to get that out of the way because I noticed that with so many of these videos, people just go crazy when someone puts Grizzlime in F tier or something like that. Wait, no, we're not gonna do that. This is gonna be my personal preference, my personal opinion. If you don't like it, don't watch the video. That's all I'm going to say. So, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and take these things into consideration when I'm rating each world. I'm going to rate the story, the design, the areas, the music, the lore, the farming, if there's any farming, the gear, if there's any gear, at least gear that you want to go for. But I think that'll be mainly in the later worlds, like Arc 4, Catacombs type stuff. But those won't be a huge factor. It just depends. And I might be a little biased here, just a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and start to this right now. So, Wizard City. I'm going to be honest. I really liked the old Wizard City. Old Wizard City was it for me. Like, I think that was like what? An S tier world in my eyes. And I'm not saying Wizard City is total crap since it got revamped pretty much, since it got redone. But I think that definitely brings the rating a bit lower than what it would have been because you can just say it's nostalgia. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But I think for Wizard City, I'm not gonna say it's a bad world because it's not a bad world. It's just it would have been higher on my list if if we were the old Wizard City instead of the new one. Not saying the new one is extremely terrible, but it's fine. Not as great as the old one, in my opinion. So I will go ahead and give Wizard City B tier. It could have been A or S if we're the old Wizard City, because y'all know how much I love Old Wiz. We all love Old Wiz. But yeah, now we have Krakotobia. Krakotobia is a nice world. A nice second world. Nice world in Arc 1. I definitely do enjoy playing through it. It's not too long. It's kinda dope. You got the Manders, you got the crocodiles, you got Crocopatra, people like him. The story going after the Order of the Fang, I gotta say that is kind of fire. That is kind of fire. But Krakotobia isn't one of my favorites. While it isn't one of my favorites, I think I will go ahead and put it in B tier as well with Wizard City. I think it's pretty good. Now Marleybone, I really love Marleybone. Here's where the bias comes in a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in S tier. Yeah, you can crucify me for it. I don't care. It's my opinion. But I just love Marleybone. I love the atmosphere. I like the story, chasing down criminals. Yeah, that's a little cliche, just chasing down criminals. But we eventually get to Malister, who ends up having the Croconomicon. So we gotta chase him all the way to Mushu. And like I said, I do like the atmosphere. I like the drip. The drip is pretty nice. And as I said earlier, I'm biased. Like I'm kind of biased towards some of these worlds. So yeah, um, Mushu. Now Mushu. Okay. Mushu is a little something. You know, Mushu's a little something, I think. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but it's not a terrible, terrible world. I think the issue is just the looks of it. Like, I'm not saying it looks terrible, but you know, I've played Pirate 101. Pirate Mushu looks so much cleaner, so much fresher. Looks amazing. I really love Mushu and Pirate. Mushu and Wiz, it's not the worst thing ever. I think the thing that saves it is like the gear, like the appearance of it at least. You could get a bit of stitch gear from there from certain bosses, which I do like. The katana one's also kind of sick. So I will go ahead and give this the good old C tier. It's not terrible. Not terrible, you know. Now we have Dragonspire. Dragonspire. Now, I really like Dragonspire. It did feel pretty long whenever I had quest through it, but at least it's not as long as Azteca or Chrysalis, okay? And honestly, I really liked Malister's arc a lot. Yo, Dragonspire is just destroy. Like, this is what he did. The Dragon Titan and all that. You know, this Dragonspire's appearance kind of just resembles his grief. Like, you know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to be genuine. I'm not going to fake my ratings or any of that. I'm not doing that. I'm going to go ahead and give Dragonspire the A tier because it's a nice world to a final arc. Yeah, it's long, but I think that's really the only issue I have with it. Other than that, Dragonspire looks pretty sick. I love it a lot. Now, here comes the bias again. S tier. I love Grizzleheim. That is my favorite world. Grizzleheim is actually my favorite world out of all these worlds. Which you got to be like, huh? But I just love Grizzleheim. You know, you have the gear. Yeah, it's a little lackluster in the first part of Grizzleheim because you barely get XP. It feels extremely slow. But things really start to ramp up once you get to Winter Tusk. I think that's what won me over. You know, like Winter Tusk, I love Winter Tusk. The Bazaar gear looks good. The Winter Tusk looks good. It is good. You even get spell quests from Grizzleheim, which is pretty amazing. They went pretty hard on this world. They went pretty hard on it. Now, maybe people would give it B, maybe A. You know, some people doesn't like it out, and that's okay, you know? But me personally, I'm going to go ahead and give Grizzleheim an S. I love it a lot. Quite a lot. Now, Celestia. Celestia. It's not my most favorite. I'm going to say that. It's not my most favorite. And I don't know if it's my least favorite, but the dungeons are cool. The story is fine. You know, I like the story. The gear does look nice. But I think the thing that mainly brings it down for me is just, I don't know. I feel kind of bored questing Celestia. Like, I feel kind of bored. Like, now someone might crucify me for this. Someone might want to kill me for this. But me personally, I'm going to go ahead and place Celestia in the D tier. I'm sorry to my Celestia lovers. I'm sorry. But this is my personal opinion. This is how I feel about Celestia. I don't hate it all that much. I just wish it was more exciting. I wish it was a little less boring. But Drip does look nice. The story is fine. Dungeons are cool. But I think I'm going to give Celestia the D tier. Now, Wisteria. Wisteria, it's a pretty clean side world. I can't lie. It's pretty clean. You know, you got the cantrips. You got, I guess, the story. But it doesn't really contribute all that much. You know? But I guess I could say the same about Grizzleheim. Except Grizzleheim does have Grandmother Raven, which also won me over, by the way. But anyways, back to Wisteria. Wisteria's gear, well, really all you have is the Pigs like Academy type stuff, which don't look bad. That's pretty nice, especially the robe. I love the robe. And you just participate in a tournament for the Spiral Cup, which I think that's pretty cool. Like I did definitely enjoy doing Wisteria on my characters before. I did enjoy doing it quite a lot. And while I don't enjoy doing Wisteria all that much anymore, it still has a place in my heart. Not as high as it once was before, but I'm going to go ahead and I think I'll give this. I'm thinking either a B or C. Because just because the only issue I really have with Wisteria is the fact that the Tower of the Hierophant is useless. I'm gonna go ahead and give this B. I'm gonna give this a B because that's really the only issue I have with Wisteria. The XP doesn't matter that much to me. Like, notice how I didn't mention the amount of XP it gives. I don't care about that. I do not care. I only care about the story, the clothing, stuff like that. And while the story doesn't really fit into the main story, I just think participating in a tournament representing your class is pretty cool. Now, Zafaria. Zafaria is kind of interesting. I definitely like it more than Celestia. Morganth, seems to be doing more business more than ever. But I would have to say the star of the show is how you say his name? CC. TT. Wait, I don't know how you say it. But CC. I'm gonna just call him CC because y'all know I cannot be pronouncing these names. Yeah. But Zafaria, in my opinion, it's pretty cool. I do like it. It's not a terrible world. I do like the atmosphere. The only thing I don't like about Zafaria really is the fetch quests. Like, I don't know. It just feels like almost half the time you're doing nothing to progress. That's really the only issue I have with it. The clothing, it's fine. I like it. The story, you're just still chasing down Morganth. You're searching for the students. And on your way, you actually find her. Which, hey, it's kind of cool. Really, the only thing I don't like about Zafaria are the fetch quests. But maybe if it didn't have as many random fetch quests, maybe it would have been a higher rating. But I'm going to be honest, I'm going to give this world a C. Now, we have Avalon. Avalon, pretty dope world. King Artorias, he's dope. Queen Gwenwyn, she's dope. The gear, pretty dope, in my opinion. I like it a lot. The areas, they're pretty fire. The music is pretty cool as well. I can't believe I forgot to mention the music, but yeah, the music in all these worlds, awesome. Just awesome. Especially the combat themes. I love the combat themes. So, but the thing is, I'm only going to rate Avalon as a C because I'm not saying I like it more than Zafaria. I would say Zafaria is more of a high C and Avalon kind of like maybe a medium or low C. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and put Avalon in C tier. And the reason why is because you don't really feel all that accomplished. At least I don't feel all that accomplished. Because you're running so much. You're running around so much for a sword that you don't even end up using in the end. Because it's only good for wife wizards. Which, KI, we need to fix this. We need to fix the Sword of Kings. Like, if it's called the Sword of Kings, surely it should have the strength of a king. Like, we shouldn't be handed trash weapons. A level 30 Sky Iron Hasta shouldn't be better than Sword of Kings. It should not be better. That's a level 30 weapon. The Sword of Kings is a level 76 weapon. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, Azteca. Now, I know what you guys are probably expecting. Just throw it into F tier, Kennedy. Throw it into F tier already. Get it over with. And I would, but remember, I gotta take everything else into consideration. I can't just take the length into consideration. I gotta take the story into consideration, the clothes, the music, stuff like that, Now, it doesn't mean That now those aren't really huge factors. I just want to add a bit to my judgment. So I'm going to go ahead and okay. Azteca kind of is something because just like Safaria, you kind of just run around. You see dinosaurs pretty much being racist to each other, pterodactyls being racist, birds being racist, um, people like them, you know. Though the ending, it is kind of cool. Jababa is pretty cool, but that's kind of the only part I like about Azteca. And the Astro Quest for the auras, enchants, I also like them. You know, they are pretty cool. But you can only unlock that, you know, if you do the Safaria side quest, Midnight Sun. So Azteca is somewhat useful in a sense, but if I'm taking story and all that into consideration and the quest length, because Azteca is pretty dang long. It is pretty dang long. But I'm gonna go ahead. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it D tier. Wait, D tier. Like I know I just said the length and all the length ain't the only thing, but the length pulls it down so much. I feel like Azteca could have been a great world, or I mean, it kind of is, but at the same time, other worlds I definitely prefer. You know, maybe if it had less fetch quests, maybe if it wasn't as long, I think we would have been fine. I think this could have been a C tier, maybe a B tier at best. Now, Aqua. Mount Olympus, pretty cool. I like it. Pretty cool dungeon. Nice gear. Doesn't look all that amazing, but you know, the Scenarios gear does look pretty sick. I like that. Atlantia. The gear is trash. Looks trash. Is trash. The dungeon is the only thing that really ain't trash. Like I do like it. And the music. I love the Atlantia music. Like if you guys ever take your time to listen to Wizard101 OSTs, or original soundtracks, I definitely recommend Atlantia Feed. I love it. Like, I wish I listen to it more often. It's so good. It's just a shame that the dungeon's trash. But, you know, Atlantia kind of pulls down Aqua. Not too much, but kind of. You know? The gear isn't really good for Atlantia. Might as well stick with Mount Olympus gear, or even Walrus gear, or Zigzag gear. You know, might as well stick with all that. And Tartarus, I like Tartarus. It's pretty sick. The music's pretty sick. Cronus at least actually drops a nice fame. I forgot to mention Gladiator and Mount Olympus. He drops a nice ring. Pretty sick. Pretty sick. And the gear from Tartarus, I mean, the stats are alright. Some of them are pretty good. But some of them, not really. I think it's a hit or miss when it comes to the gear. So, with all that in consideration, considering this is just Greek challenges that they had, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this. I'm going to go ahead and put Aqua. See, this is kind of hard. It's kind of hard. Like, you don't know which tier to put it in because you're like, I feel like it should go higher. But no, it should go lower. We think about this a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put in B tier. I'm gonna put Aqua in B tier because all the dungeons are nice. It's just the gear that makes some of them fall off. Like Mount Olympus gear is pretty good. The Tartarus gear could use a bit of improvement, but for the most part, it's fine in my opinion. And Atlantia gear definitely needs an improvement, definitely. Like really, the only reason why I didn't put it in C tier was because Atlantia was at least a cool dungeon and it had good music. Now, Chrysalis, I think is where it gets real controversial. I think because I met few people who actually like Chrysalis, but you know, I respect them. You know, I'm not saying I like Chrysalis. I'm not saying I don't hate it. It's alright with me. It's alright. So, while we all know the world has like 277 quests or something, which is crazy, we're gonna go ahead and take the gear into consideration first. So some of the gear is a hit or miss, at least in my opinion. Really, the gear from Chrysalis I like the most is the burrow fit. At least the robe, the burrow fit. At least the robe. Yeah, at least the robe. Because, you know, it's a cool looking cape. Nice armor, you know. The burrows look amazing with it. The story, I like it. In part one, yeah, it's kind of slow. Yeah, it's not really all that exciting. But part two is, I think, where I get pumped up. I think that's where I get pumped up. Because, you know, you're almost done with Chrysalis. You're almost there to Darkmoor. You know, the music, the areas are fire. You can tell they definitely improved a bit after part one. The story is actually more engaging. It's awesome. You defeat Morganth at last, which, that was kind of disappointing. In my opinion, of course, in my opinion. In my opinion, the Arc 2 was kind of a disappointment, kind of. But I think it was just because we had that generic villain thingy, you know, where villains decide to be evil just cause. But Chrysalis does get saved a little bit because they do show Morganth's background, which she was just pretty much trained to be that way. She was trained to be all crazy with shadow magic and stuff. At least after she got a spell from Ravenwood. But, you know, I think this is... Now, I don't want to put it so low just because of the length. Because, yeah, the length is pretty killer. Like, every time I go to Chrysalis, I'm like, oh, I don't want to quest in this world, dude. Like, the time, like, I promise, if they ever added a Chrysalis skip elixir, I just skip the world, personally. I don't know about you guys, but I personally would. I know people who like Chrysalis, and like I said, I respect you for it. Because there's lots of people who don't. And I think it's mainly because of the length. So, even taking the length into consideration, taking everything else into consideration, the story, Morganth's defeat, all of that, I think I'm going to go ahead. You guys might call me crazy as hell for this, but I'm going to go ahead and give Chrysalis a B tier. A B tier. I'm only giving Chrysalis a B because of the length. Because of the length. And part one story. Part one story kind of sucked. The length was kind of crazy. But other than that, B ranking. It's a B ranking. Now, someone might want to try to cancel me or something like that. Someone might try to screenshot this or something and be like, oh, look at this girl's tears, his ass. Well, oh well. I was kind of asking for it by recording this video. So, now we have... I believe this is a 4 dungeons. I could be wrong, but I think that's what this means. I could be absolutely wrong, but I think this is what this means. So, what we have Kimbalung Village, we have Zigzag, we have Darkmoor, and Barkingham Palace. All 4 of those things I like a lot. All 4 of those things I like. They're pretty sick, especially Darkmoor. Darkmoor, amazing. You just defeat Malice there for the last time. He's finally put to peace. Like, this guy, he's so obsessed. He is so obsessed with the wizard. It's crazy. Like, he comes back to life and the first thing he says is, oh yeah, I'm gonna destroy that wizard. But I love Monster. Monster's pretty cool. Now, while the 4 dungeons aren't my most favorite thing in the game, I do like it a lot. I do like them a lot. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong about this, saying this is the 4 dungeons, but I'm pretty sure it is. But yeah, with all those dungeons combined, I'm gonna go ahead and give this an A tier. Pretty cool. I like it. Polaris, no questions asked. No questions asked. I'm kind of biased too, because, you know, I like winter. Winter's my favorite season. I was born in winter. So, we have the quests. They're pretty short. Pretty nice start of Arc 1. We learn about Spider's children. We fight Rasputin. I would say really the only downside to play is probably Mori. Like she isn't that annoying though in Polaris, so I guess I can't really say anything. But even then, I love Polaris. Maribone, Grizzlime, and Polaris, they're my top three. Now, we have the Arcanum. The Arcanum, I don't know if I can say a lot about this, but we did have a few battles there and such, so I guess I will try to rate it. Now, the Arcanum. The Arcanum, it's chill. It's fine. You know, it's chill, it's fine. I don't think it's the best thing ever, but it's okay. We just haven't done we just haven't done a lot in it, which is why I kind of don't want to rate this, but I guess I will. I guess with the battles and stuff we've been through, the scholars, other people in Arcanum, there isn't a lot to rate this on. I think. Wait, I don't think there's a lot to rate this with. I guess the music is pretty cool. The battle music especially. But then again, we don't really do much in the Arcanum. So I think at least for the time being, I'll give it a C for the time being. Imperia. Alright. Someone's gonna definitely tear me apart for this rating right here. But I think I will say, I think I want to give Imperia, I think I'm gonna give Imperia an A. I like Imperia. I said it. I know people don't like Imperia, but you know what? I like it. It's not all that long, at least in my opinion. Part 2 is definitely where things start getting interesting. Part 1, yeah, I'll admit, Part 1 is a bit of a sleeper, but I really love the areas in Imperia Part 2, especially the aeroplanes. The music does it for me. I love the characters as well. They're very memorable. I really do like Imperia. Wait, by the way, this is pretty much this list is pretty much why my ratings for this is pretty much why I'm like, oh boy, you guys are gonna come after me for this, you know. But you can always have your own tier list down in the comment section. I don't know if I went ahead and told you could do that, but definitely have your own tier list down in the comment section. I'm willing to hear you out. But yeah, I really do like Imperia. It's an amazing ending to Arc 3 in my opinion. You know, you fight the Storm Titan, you fight the Ether Titan. The endings are pretty cool. I only wish the fight, at least the ending of the fight, the Ether Titan fight, wasn't scripted, but, you know, I guess. Because you're fighting it by yourself, you know. So I guess. But I really like Imperia. I think I have to consider it A tier world. I was thinking of putting it in the B, but I'm like, no. I'm gonna just go with my heart. I'm gonna go with my opinions. This tier list might suck ass, but you know what? If I'm happy with it, I'm happy with it. Now we're gonna go ahead and do Mirage. I love Mirage. I'm also gonna give this A. The characters do it for me. They definitely do it for me. And the music, the clothing, amazing. I love Mirage so much. The characters are so memorable. Like Ozzy, Sultana, Istar is the only one I kind of don't like, but you know, I kind of do remember her. Grandfather's Firefight was pretty cool. I really like the world. I really love the fight. I think this is pretty amazing. I love this a lot. So I think I'm going to go ahead and give Mirage an A tier. I know people who dislike Mirage, but you know what? That's okay. That is okay. You know, I really love Birdie too. I forgot to mention him. Birdie's awesome. Catacombs. Okay. The level 130 content we all love. The Dragoon farming, the Vanguard farming. Oh boy. Okay. I'm gonna be straight up. I'm gonna go ahead and give Catacombs a B. Before you crucify me, before you kill me, I'm only giving Catacombs a B because of the story, the bosses, Like basically everything but the farming. Everything but the farming is fine, in my opinion. I love the side quests too. They're pretty cool. I did all the side quests. Sometimes I do all the side quests in my spare time. Um, I feel like if the Dragoon farming just wasn't as tedious, I feel like this could have been maybe S tier. Like, I feel like Catacombs would have been amazing. Like, it was, but it would have been even better without all the excessive Dragoon farming. I know double reagents would pop frequently during this time, but man, it was still crazy. Like, I ventured to stop farming Dragoon. I couldn't do it anymore. Now, I'm going to be straight up with Caramel. I'm actually going to be straight up with Caramel. Now, before the Caramel lovers come and kill me, I'm going to go ahead and say this. I actually used to like Caramel. I used to like it. But of course, that's when I was like in what? 7th grade? That's when I was much younger. And you know, kids like candy. You know, candy themed stuff, candy themed worlds. Now Caramels is kind of nothing to me. Arc 4, in general, I didn't really like all that much. Caramel, Caramel, the music is fine. I like the music. It's just a welcoming jingle. It's that jingle, bro. I do not like that jingle. Like, I used to like it, but then I'm just like, no. Get this out of my head, bro. Get this out of my head. It's playing in my head right now as I'm recording this. And really the only cool part of Caramel is what? The final fight? Because that's how you meet Design and all that. Or at least the nothing, because he hasn't named himself yet. So, yeah, I'm sorry to the Caramel lovers, but I just do not like Caramel. I don't like Caramel. I'm sorry. I used to, but it's just not my cup of tea anymore. Now, Lemuria. Now, I know people will just be like, girl, you just put this in F tier. You just put this in F tier, because Lemuria sucks some balls. Like, Lemuria sucks a lot of ass. Lemuria, it's just a copy and paste world. Which, you know what? I agree. I agree that Lemuria is a copy and paste world. And while Design did pretty much base the areas of Lemuria on other worlds, I like the music. The story is, you know, at least it's starting to build up something. It at least makes more sense than Caramel. Lemuria is fine. I especially like the difficulty. The difficulty was crazy in Lemuria. At least back then, I liked it. Now I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give Lemuria a C. I think a C is appropriate. Really, I'm only giving it a C because of the copy and paste areas. That takes off a lot of points. Like, wait. I don't like all that. Now, Novus. Novus, I have to say, music is cool. Characters are cool. Gear, it's the farming though. The farming though. At least the old way of farming, or wasn't that better? Wasn't that better than the system we have now? Don't exactly remember. But either way, Novus farming was kind of crazy. I did like the story. I did like the characters. I did like the music. So, Novus was at least one of the worlds I liked more in Arc 4. At least one of the worlds I liked more. So I will go ahead and give this a B. I will go ahead and give this a B. Because Novus, I like it. It at least kind of starts to... At least, the pieces at least start coming together a little bit. As you progress into more and more into the world, you realize the 4 powers are pretty damn selfish. So of course Design, like the king he is, rejects all of them, but then in the process gets mad at you too, which is kind of crazy. Design, I thought we were friends, but guess we're not. Walrus. Now Walrus, I've seen people have mixed opinions about it. I've heard people who love Walrus. I heard people who hated Walrus. Now in my opinion, Walrus, it's alright. It's alright. I do love the music from there, and I do love the areas. At least mainly Billabong Resort, Eucalyptus Forest, Wobbegong Territory, stuff like that, you know. Those free areas. Those are, I think, my favorite free areas. But the farming in Waru, it's much better than it was last year. Much better. I mean, by that I mean Novus farming the past few years at least. Waru's recipes never changed. But I do like Waru's crafting. The story, I think it's fine. The ending of Arc 4 with it, eh, you know, it was kind of fine. It was kind of alright. People might call me crazy as hell for doing this, but I'm actually going to go ahead and put this in B tier. I think this is my tier list. I'm not sure if everything is necessarily set in stone, but I think this is my tier list right here. Now, this tier list might make someone want to kill me, and you know what? That's okay. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys want to see more tier lists, definitely comment down below. I expect everyone to act like adults in the comment section, considering this community is mainly full of adults. So, but then again, watching them act like children for some weird reason. But I'm hoping you guys aren't like that. I know you guys aren't like that. Alright? So, like I said, this is my tier list. Yeah, I was a little biased with the free up here. A little biased. But at the same time, I love them for different reasons. Well, I don't really have anything else to say. So I guess I will go ahead and see you guys later. Take care. Love you. Bye.